87%. I said, well, I don't know who they are. But the reality is, I know who we are. I know the environment that we have. I know the love that we have for the game. I know the level that we play it at. And I understand that the product that people say you can't get rich on, you can get rich on it real quick. And, you know, as we look through the organization, man, I thought about, you know, where was Giovanna and Rhett when we found one another? Where was Calandra Jones Jackson when we found? Because we're all about building up people, right? We're looking at the numbers, and we have over 250 council members. We have 83 people on this call, okay? And I'm looking at the numbers. I'm saying, okay, where are the people? Because if we want to grow anything, man, there's this thing called proximity that people got to fall in love with. If there's going to be any type of explosion in anything, number one, people got to feel like doing the first thing. The first thing is what? I got to show up. And so I got to make sure that when I show up to the right place. And when I get to the right place, I open up my mind. I open up my heart to be able to receive the right message so I can go get the right results. Man, I had this couple out of Coach Landry base shop, Giovanna and Hamilton, man. Last year, guys, they was at a $3,000 base shop. $3,000 base shop. But when you look at them today, they're number 3 in the country, over $100,000. Halfway through the daggone month,
let's go, A-Nation.
Halfway through the month, my RV was 40,000. Now she's over 207,000. I said, man, what didn't happen, man? Coach George Harrison was down to 500,000. Tonight he jumps over his 7 diamond and he ain't lifted a hand. And I said, man, there's something about when you get into proximity of the right people, the spirit pours off on them. See, everybody talk about, you know, I want to run a play, but I want to make sure that my people understand the systemic way. Yeah, I get all that, right? That's good to have, right? But what about the spirit? Do the people have the I feel like waking up and getting to work? Do they have the I feel like playing the game that I love? And I'm listening to everybody say, everybody want to get out the game. When did people fall out of love with the best thing that ever happened to them?
My God.
Why don't nobody, hear me good, want to continue to play the game that got you rich in the first place? If people is who got me rich, why am I trying to run away from people? See, if we're going to rise for the occasion, if we're going to go out and perform at a very high level, guess what, man? The people who still love the game. LeBron James is a billionaire, but guess what? He still plays basketball. But he plays basketball not for the money, not for the fame. He got all that, right? Not for the big mansion, not for the Lamborghinis and the Bugattis. He plays the game because he's still in love with the game. My question is, who's still in love with the game? Because if you're talking about promoting out 400 plus reach the vice presidents, let me ask you something. When they get out of there, what are they going to be hitting on? Are your vice presidents going to be profitable because they still feel the game? Or are your vice presidents going to have a retirement plan in place over the next 3 years? See, I don't mind waking up every day, coming downstairs to my computer. I don't never have the spirit, I don't feel like it, right? I look forward to getting in a daggone leather chair with a Pepsi on my left and a notepad on my right, because guess what? I still love the game, right? I don't mind going to do everything I got to do if I got to do it 20 hours a day, because guess what? I don't get exhausted with what I love. I love playing the game. So whereas a regional vice president, they paid my wife and I over $500,000 in the last 40 days on product, listening to 2 voices to go play the damn game at a very high level. See, I love when the doubters come in and say, you know what, man, it can't be done. I love when they say, hey, you know what, man, it's never been done. I love when they say, you know what, they can't do it out of the Midwest. We're going to put Missouri on the map because we are the show me state. I said, man, you know what, man, the game ain't over. The game just began.
That's good.
And so when you look at the movement, when you look at the reality of where we're trying to go, my question is, how many people attached to you are feeling it? I said Cornegate, a document that I had, when we put this daggone thing together, man, to store, watch this, raising people out the dead, the people who were unknown. Guess what, man? We had 9 people to jump over the ring. 9 people to jump over the ring. 7 people to go get the watch. All in the daggone base shop because people now spirit have the, you know what, I feel like doing it all over again. We ain't preaching no part-time message. We ain't preaching no mediocrity. We ain't preaching no, hey, you know what, man? Hey, we gonna get around to it. No, we preaching the fact that you need to go do this and you need to go do it at a high level. See, one thing that I love about this company is there's a lot of ways that you can make money. But I found out the one product that Primerica owns is term life insurance. And when I found out that Primerica owned term life insurance, you know what I said? I'm going to play that game at a very high level. I'm going to play that game at a Michael Jordan level. I'm going to play that game at a Kobe Bryant level. I'm going to play that game at a level that they say, you know what, man, I don't believe that it can be seen. Man, I got questions. Say, hey, man, how do y'all go run a $700,000 base shop, $800,000 hierarchy with 75% of our RVP become number 1 through 1st in the whole company? Because we play a game that we love. And I'm just saying to you all, if you're going to go create something massive, if you're going to go break records and be listed as the only to ever do it, man, you got to fall back in love with the game. Because in most cases, most people are running base shops. Well, guess what? A base shop is driven on your personality. If your regional leaders start believing they finna retire, you're going to have a miserable base shop bondage. And so when you look at the success that's coming through, hey, guess what, man? The wave just started. One thing you're going to have to worry about is a flood of new council members coming through, because the movement we have created got people believing that they could do all things through Christ who gave them strength. They got people believing, but you know what, man, I can run a big base shop. They got people believing, you know what, that I am the head and not the tail. They got people believing that I can go cash flow at a very high level. They got people believing that, you know what, man, this is the best thing since sliced bread. I ain't got to do nothing on the side to go make a living. They got people believing. When they're in their drought, that is just a season, not a lifestyle. They got people believing that, you know what, man, although they may doubt me, I can go from irrelevant to extremely relevant. The movie just began. The movie just started. But you could play a role in the movie. I chose to be the main character. Man, I'm fired up at the forecast of what's going to happen over the next 90 days. I'm fired up at the ownership that you just see them go over 200,000. Don't blink. They'll be at 300,000 in a minute. Give them a minute. I'm fired up that you just seen us click over 900,000.
Let's go.
1 million on the 29th. 1.1 on the 7th. 1.2 on the 16th. See, I'm fired up at the fact that there's motion in the ocean. When you look up,
motion party.
By the Midwest Regional Meeting, we'll be flirting with $2 million in income on term life insurance. Because the connection and the collaboration of Beast Nation and All Gas No Brakes created a movement where people now believe all over again. I'm going to pass the ball back to you.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Way to bring it, way to bring it.
Let's go.
Let's go tonight. Let's go tonight.
All right, that's
Show
what
me
I'm talking
state.
about. Well, I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen between now and the convention. I mean, he really setting the bar very, 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 very high. Well, I got somebody that's gonna kind of put the bow on it, gonna close it off. Mr. Clean himself, you know. Let me tell you about this guy. You know, y'all talk about that RVP retreat, but I remember being at the where was it? The AL? Yeah, it was in Dallas, I think it was. Man, Gary, I have spent so much time with Gary. If you're willing to stay up late, Gary's gonna give you all the game. And I'm gonna tell y'all something about Gary.